You're watching the Institute for Community Alliances, ICA. From IATOP, SRP, and DMIA, this is After Lunch with Shawn McAninch.
After lunch today, we have a different show. It's exciting. We're going to be learning about HMIS Security and Privacy. What does HMIS stand for?
Is it hairy men in suits, Shawn?
You know, if I had a writing team, I could do a better job. But anyway, tonight we got some very great people. We got the wonderful KarLee Kearns. She's on tour promoting her big film, Judge KarLee. She knows she doesn't want to call it Judge KarLee. It's actually HMIS Security Privacy. But it's Judge KarLee to us. And we're going to have, who else do we have? We have, Kyndra Lobdell. Kyndra Lobdell's going to be on today. She's got a very exciting, some things to show you. And we've got Kasper Kittredge is going to be on the show, as always, bringing some animals, hopefully something cute and not scary. That's what we got going on today.
Hey, Data Crisps!
I like the way the box implies they're going to be fun, but you have to work really hard to make them interesting.
I like the way they taste. Hey, look, I got a text from my boss. She says to send her my login information.
But that's against the rules. Are you sure that's even her?
That text has her name on it, but that's a picture from the website. I should send a text to the number that I know is hers.
She won't get mad at you for asking questions. I feel smart.
I've never felt smarter.
Data crisps are part of a complete security plan. Please do not ingest data crisps. And now back to After Lunch with Shawn McAninch.
So, after lunch, boy. I feel kind of full. How about you?
Oh, I was so good.
I do. Who do we have first today?
Well, Shawn, we have KarLee Kearns, the star of last year's security and privacy training.
It's so exciting. That's awesome.
And you know why she's here?
Why?
This year's security and privacy.
Hey, who's doing security and privacy training? For you.
From, and I know you know this, but for the audience, she's at the Institute for Community Alliances.
Sure.
She is the manager of HMIS, and she's here
For the state of Iowa.
for the state of Iowa.
Yeah, it's not like she runs it for the whole world.
Well, maybe,
But she might want to.
ambitions. Ambitions are good.
Yeah.
And then here she is.
Here she is, KarLee Kearns. Let's hear it. Woo!
Hi, so good to see you
Good to
guys.
see you. Thank you very much. Go ahead, have a seat.
Yes, thank you. Oh, look at all this fancy coffee.
Oh, yes. Okay, so KarLee, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad that you're on the show. I know you're busy and it's hard, as manager of HMIS for the state of Iowa. And also, as Ehren was saying, you're an actress.
Superstar.
Yeah, superstar.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Just so happy to be here.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
really promote security and privacy
Security and
training
privacy
this year.
So
once
important.
again. So what is HMIS? Because I know it's not hairy men in suits.
I've heard it's hearty meals, including sauce.
See, he always keeps the best jokes for himself.
It's because we don't have writers.
All right, so it's actually, what is it actually? Homeless?
Management information system.
Okay.
It's a database system used to collect and manage information about individuals experiencing homelessness and their needs.
Okay.
And so it really helps agencies provide better services and also track progress. So this does also include DVIMS, which is your domestic violence management information system, and that's a separate system specific to survivors of domestic violence. They also follow the HMIS rules.
Last year, we did one that we called, what did we call it? It was HMIS Security Court or something, but everybody
Judge
calls it
KarLee.
Judge KarLee,
That's
KarLee's
right.
Court. And
Lucky me.
I know,
KarLee's
everybody
Court.
loved it, and we're going to do a little scene. We're going to do a little cutaway right now. I know she's excited about this. We're going to do a little cutaway.
He did. After careful review of the documents submitted by the defendant and taking everything into consideration, I find that the defendant has done nothing wrong. They're ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of all client information collected. They protect against any threats to security. They ensure compliance by all users. They require that all users attend an annual security and privacy awareness training. They perform an internal annual security review and verify the security of equipment and compliance by all their users. I find for the defendant. Case closed.
This makeup artist is the best.
Thank you.
She's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, hey, we gotta get back.
We're back.
Okay,
Thank
we're
you.
back.
That was awesome. And it was great seeing Evelyn there. Hello. But anyway, so what is HMIS used for?
So HMIS is used for completing enrollments and assessments for clients served by the agency, referring clients to other services and/or agencies, creating case notes and tracking client progress, and coordinating services for a client.
So is there anything that HMIS is not used for?
This, we actually did a top 10 list on.
Top
So
10.
We're going to do a top 10 list on
too much
what
fun.
HMIS is not used for. Drum roll, please. All right. The number 10 reason, the number 10 thing that HMIS should not be used for is personal gain. Personal gain. Number 9, bias opinions. Number 8, stalking. Shouldn't use HMIS for that. Number 7, sharing with others outside of service providers. Number 6, showing service point to non-licensed persons. Don't do it. Number 5, the number 5 thing to not use HMIS for is revenge. Number 4, the number 4 thing to not use HMIS for is to steal identities. Number 3 is to find a date. Not to be used for that. Number 2 is to be mean. Absolutely not. HMIS is never to be used simply to be mean.
And what's number 1, Shawn?
The number 1 thing to not use HMIS for is curiosity.
It could cost you your job.
That's right. Well, that was great. KarLee, thank you so much for being on After Lunch. You can welcome to stick around. But right now, we've got someone you know. I know you know her, and we're all super excited for the wonderful and incredibly interesting Kyndra Lobdell.
Right after this. ICA presents the greatest hits of Johnny Rocket. This incredible collection features more than 30 songs. Of course, you remember Permanent Housing.
When exiting clients to permanent housing, you must record the move-in date.
Everybody loves Backdate.
You better make sure you backdate when you're doing your entry, or you'll make all the errors that you find in your reports.
Entry completed.
You've got your entry completed with a household and ROI. And you also got an ID number you can use instead of PII. Instead of first name or last name, address or B-Day or Social Security. You've got your entry completed. Now you can finally go pee.
Who could forget Household Eyes?
In the HMIS system, certain things can be a strain when the household needs updating. Adding children is a pain.
It's got new songs like the HUD section blues.
HUD sections, how you make me sad. I'll never understand just how you became so bad. It really should.
All of this and more available now from icatraining.org. Log in to get your copy.
HUD sections, how you make me blue. I'd rather dig my eyeballs out than spend more time with you. We got Kyndra Lobdell!
All right, everybody, I'm Kyndra Lobdell. Get up on your feet. We're going to do some exercises about PII and how to keep that information safe. First, we're going to start. All PII needs to be protected with an ROI. Give me an R. And then O-I. 3 more. R. O-I. 2 more. R. O-I. 1 more. R-O-I. Next motion. When you're sharing personally identifiable information, you need to make sure your space is secure. Secure your space. Secure your space. Secure your space. Secure your space. All right. And we also need to encrypt your emails. If you're sending personal identifiable information over email, you need to password protect those emails. 2 more. Password protect those emails. 1 more. Password protect those emails. And lastly, if you're able to, take it as a phone call, not an email. Take it as a phone call, not an email. Take it as a phone call, not an email. All right, that's what we got for today.
Woohoo!
Woo!
There's more with Kyndra Kumquat after this.
Kyndra Kumquat!
Singer, HMIS system administrator, and award-winning creator of one of the most innovative and inspiring approaches to physical fitness and HMIS security ever. Her unique exercise methods have inspired dozens of people around the world to protect client information while getting in better shape. She is on the cutting edge of exercise HMIS videos. Kyndra's workouts are constantly improving the science of staying fit while protecting clients' personal information. Order now!
We do something. So Kyndra, what are we talking about today?
Yes, well, we're talking about PII, formerly known as PPI, but HUD now uses PII, which stands for Personally Identifiable Information,
As opposed to PPI.
which was Personal Protected Information. So PII, what it is any information that could be disclosed about an individual that makes them identifiable.
So like their name.
Their social security number,
Okay.
date of birth. Also, in some instances, their email address, if it has a name in there.
I bet people forward
yes.
stuff and forget.
As well as information about disabilities they may have, or even the area in which they live. The more descriptive you get about an individual, the more likely it is that you are somewhat going to be disclosing some PII.
You bet. So what do we do then if we
Yes.
can't share any of that information?
So you can share it, you just need to be very careful with whom you share it and how you share it.
Okay.
So you need to only share it with people that have an ROI,
A release of information signed. Okay.
that the client has signed.
Okay.
But one thing to note, that just because you have an ROI in place does not mean that you can send an email with that information, because as we know in today's age, it's very easy to hack into emails.
Right.
So that's why we always suggest that if you're able to have a phone call or an in-person meeting with that provider to disclose that PII, that is the first choice. But if you absolutely cannot do that and need to send an email, you need to make sure it is password protected, as we did earlier.
Password protected.
Password protected, and double, triple check that that is password protected before sending that off.
Yeah, to be clear though, in the system, in the HMIS or DVIM system, right? The system creates, create a client ID number?
It
There's a
does.
number?
Yes.
We could share that, right?
We absolutely.
Okay,
That is
okay.
what we encourage users to do if they're able to just have a conversation. Let's say an individual is pulled from one program into another, they could just use that client ID number that is in
They can
our
email
system.
that.
Yes, you can email
That's
that.
safe.
As long as there's no other descriptive information about that client, you are good with that information.
Okay.
There's a couple of other no-nos that I wanted to discuss as well.
2 more no-nos. No-nos. I hear
Yes.
'em.
One is we do not want to have clients sign blank releases of information for the,
That
for
seems a
the
little
case
dodgy to
manager
me.
to sign at a different time.
Yeah.
Also, we don't want just generalized ROIs that could be tweaked and changed later.
Sure.
Because those are not allowable by HUD.
The
And
release
they-
of information should be specific to a person or agency.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That is exactly right. And yes, you only should be sharing with people that are on a need-to-know basis that have an ROI. And especially the most important thing, we do not use personally identifiable information for gossiping. That is a big Kyndra Kumquat no-no. So,
No gossiping. That's right. Okay. So I think I understand PII better now.
Yes.
Everybody,
Thank you, Shawn. Thanks so much, Kyndra.
yeah.
Thank
Kyndra,
you.
Kyndra, thank you for the wonderful workout as well. We got a lot more show. We still got Kasper coming out with some animals. I'm absolutely terrified, I won't lie.
And we're clear.
Oh. You didn't
I
make
can't
me.
wait. I'm going to try this workout at home.
I'm
I
sweating.
recommend it.
I got
recommend
sweaty
it.
from it.
Especially those encrypting the emails. That
I got.
that one's an intense
Oh, is she
one.
coming back? Oh, she's your makeup girl.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, I probably need a touch-up, honey.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh,
Hey,
Evelyn,
Shawn,
what?
I think the producer's got something for you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's up?
We need to go over what's expected of all HMIS participating agencies.
We didn't already do that?
No.
Isn't that what?
No.
Isn't what the whole thing is?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
I
even
get
understand this. Okay, so this is what we're doing right
Yes, Shawn, this is what we're doing.
here? Isn't this going to just be like over the screen anyway?
Yes, Shawn.
Okay. Can you just read it? Can we just
Yes,
read it right
I'm
now?
gonna read it.
All right.
Okay.
Let's just do it now. Okay.
All right.
We're just going to read it because it's going to be off screen.
Let's do it.
Jeez Louise. All HMIS participating agencies are expected to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of all information entered, protect against any threats to security, ensure compliance by all users, ensure all users complete the annual security and privacy awareness training, perform an internal annual security review to verify the security of equipment and compliance by all users. Agencies participating in HMIS must comply with federal, state, and local confidentiality laws. The HMIS policies and procedures do not replace your agency's policies and procedures. They are meant to supplement any policies already in place. Agencies must comply with limits to data collection. Collecting data from clients to enter into HMIS must be relevant, appropriate, and lawful. Agencies must post the consumer notice, the HMIS notice of data collection, at the intake or comparable location with general reasons for data collection and reference to the privacy policy. Staff must provide or explain the consumer notice to all clients. A verbal explanation of the consumer notice includes what HMIS is, why does the agency use it, security and privacy protocols, and the benefit and risks for the client.
Good job, Susie.
Good job, Susie.
Probably need to drink
Thank
water after that.
All right, we've got Kasper up next, so
Thank
I think
you.
we're back for
Thank you,
commercial.
Susie. That was excellent.
In 3,
That was really
2.
We're back. All
Well,
right.
Shawn, we've got one more guest.
I know.
We've got Kasper Kittredge, and I know in the past it's been kind of scary for you, but
He brings
brought his
scary
animals.
things.
He brought his animals, and here he is. Kasper!
Kasper! And he's got a snake. He's got a snake. Hey, he's got a snake. How you doing, Kasper?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
It's good to see your friend.
So this is my security snake. So I'm here to talk a little bit about computer security and what that means. And your reactions are very normal, all right? So most people get very tense and nervous when it comes to talking about security, but I'm here to let you know that as long as you follow some basic guidelines, security is going to be much more afraid of you than you are of it, right?
I don't know.
Oh, I think so. So any computer that you're accessing HMIS or DVIMs on has to be following 5 things. So first, it has to be password protected with a strong password. Then you have to have a firewall in place and virus protection in place. And then you need to make sure that your computer is stored in an area that can be secured and locked so that nobody can access it when you're not there. And then the very last thing is to make sure that your computer or your device has regular updates.
Oh,
So it's really not
Well, now
that
I
scary.
just kind of want to reach out and pet your security.
You sure can pet my security. And so one.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, and that's okay. For some people, you just need to do the bare minimum, right?
Yeah, well,
And again, as long as that bare minimum is reached, you should be good to go. One other thing to keep in mind, though, is when you're accessing HMIS and DVIMs, even if your computer has all of those security measures in place, you want to make sure that you're accessing those sites off of internet that is password protected, right? You don't want to be using open Wi-Fi.
So open Wi-Fi like at a public place, like the library or the airport or anything like that?
Yeah.
Which you shouldn't anyway.
That's really good advice, Kasper.
Yeah, and then once you've done all of that, you won't need to worry about anybody else being able to see what you're seeing because our HMIS and DVIM systems have the highest level of transcription security.
So I think you've got one more pet you want to share with us.
I do have one more critter because we were just talking about logging in, and our lovely assistant here, I'm gonna trade our critters.
You know,
All
guys,
right.
my password is password.
Ah, Anthony! Oh, you know?
Yeah, so
So dangerous.
as Anthony just demonstrated, if you don't have a strong or secure password, then security can bite you.
Or if you tell people your
Your
password,
password.
oh my gosh.
I can't afford to lose any crew.
We were just talking about logging in as well, right? Now, this critter looks a lot more cozy. A lot of us are a lot more familiar with it. So this is my login
Yeah, he's
information.
cute. I'm not afraid of him.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I think I want to touch him. Can I have him?
So here's the thing. We can't actually share our login information. So this one is my login information. I'm taking care of it. I'm protecting it. I'm making sure that it stays up to date.
It's cute.
It is very
So
cute.
he's bonded with you.
Yes, exactly. And the thing is that we can't share our login information for 3 major reasons. So the first reason is that we are primarily concerned with our clients' confidentiality. If you share login information, you might not know that the person you're sharing with has signed the appropriate confidentiality agreements.
Good point.
Right? So that's the first reason. The second reason, let's say that they're your coworker and you know that they've signed the confidentiality agreement, right? You don't know if they've been locked out of the system for a different security concern that might be being addressed a little bit more subtly, right? Like you're not aware of that, and so if you share that information, you could be putting that client and their privacy and even potentially their safety at risk. And then finally, on the back end, you've got a unique user ID. In the same way that all of our clients have unique IDs, every user has a unique ID as well, right?
Yep.
You don't want somebody to be using your login information to use your unique ID and to be doing malicious things in the system. And so if there's ever an instance where the client's information is compromised or if there's a legal inquiry, you don't want your ID to be tied to actions that somebody else took.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but to even get that information, that cute little guy right there, you got to pass the test, don't you? It's kind of hard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I know a little bit about it. It's hard.
Yeah,
right?
it's you have to demonstrate that you understand how to use the system so that you're not going to be just accidentally, right? Because we're all human, we all make mistakes. You have to demonstrate that you at least have a level of knowledge and have signed all of those confidentiality agreements to be able to use that system safely. In addition to making sure that your computer has the proper security and making sure that you're holding on to your login information and not sharing that with anyone, there are some other documents that you need to have at your agency. You need to have them posted in order for you to be in compliance with security measures.
Okay. And can you tell us what those are?
I for sure can. So firstly, we've got the agency participation agreement, which formally establishes parameters for HMIS participation for an agency. This needs to be updated and signed annually.
Annually?
We've got the HMIS user agreement, which establishes parameters for HMIS participation by an end user. So these are going to be anybody who's entering data or accessing the system at all.
We kind of sometimes, we call that their user agreement paperwork sometimes too,
exactly.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
and that also needs to be updated annually because we just need to make sure that you know what you're doing.
And that's why it's connected with the security and privacy training every year.
Exactly. Then we've got a few notices for clients. So we've got the consumer notice, which notifies clients about an agency's privacy procedures and how the agency can use and disclose PPI or PII. The consumer notice is posted somewhere visible to clients completing an intake with an agency so that they understand what data is being collected and how it's being shared and how it's being protected. And then finally, we've got the interagency data sharing agreement, which formally establishes parameters for users and disclosures of client data that are electronically shared between agencies for the benefit of the client.
So, that's everything?
That is everything that I came
No
up
more
to
animals?
chat about. Not today.
No more animals today? All right. Well, then, while we're here, and you brought it up, Ehren, you usually talk about passwords.
Passwords should
be 12 characters or more. Use
a phrase
and switch some letters.
You need a capital, lowercase, special characters, and numbers. If you have something you can remember, that helps. If you are a big Taylor Swift fan, you could pick Cruel Summer 22.
Make the C into a $sign.
It's as easy as that.
I think this was a great episode. I wish the ladies were here so that we could all dance together off stage, but they're not, but we can. Come on, dance!